One of the interesting things about our limbic brain is this. Number one, it doesn't lie. It was designed to make us survive. And because it does that, it is the most trustworthy. So when we see a reaction to something that happens, we tend to place, we who observe the world, can place greater emphasis on that because we know it was a limbic reaction. Somebody pushes you and you react to that push. That is an honest display. Now, what you may think later and say, well, you know what, this person's a bully, maybe I should keep my mouth shut. That's different. It's the reactions that are most accurate. Curiously enough, when we look at the human body and we say, all right, well, if all behavior is governed by the limbic brain, which part of our body is the most accurate that we can look at? And most people think it's the face. You would be wrong. For in fact, the most accurate, truthful part of your body begins with your feet. And there's a simple evolutionary reason for this. And the reason is that as we evolved, it was the feet that first had to react to any threat that came at us. If there was a tiger, if there was a lion, if there was any animal that was predatory and threatened us, it was the feet which first held us in place and kept us from moving. It was the feet then which allowed us to move away from that object or fight with the object. The elegant part of our brain, this limbic system, which has allowed us to survive, provides us with a series of steps which can be counted on to demonstrate how far along we are in regards to a threat. When we talk about a threat, keep in mind that the threat can be physical, the threat can be emotional, breaking up with someone, or the threat can actually be something internal. You remember something, oh my gosh, I forgot to turn off the water, or it can be financial. It can be a financial threat. Well, if I do this now and I get caught, I may lose all my money. So there are three things that in essence the brain does systematically whenever there is a threat. And it's important for you to understand this because at the poker table, you are surrounded by 8, 9, or more threats. These individuals want your chips. And they're bluffing, they're moving, they're acting, they're raising, they're calling, and so forth. And any one of those things can actually be a financial threat to you. So what are these three things? Well, we have to recognize that number one, we tend to freeze when anything threatens us. Number two, anything that we don't like, anything that could potentially hurt us, anything that we find unappealing, we will distance ourselves from that. And number three is that when in fact it no longer serves us well to just freeze or to distance ourselves, then we often refer to the last ability of our brain, and that is to fight. And one of the ways that manifests at the poker table is actually aggressive, argumentative behavior, which is intended to antagonize or, in some cases, to destabilize the person that's next to you. And you often see this with boorish behaviors, with things that are said to antagonize, maybe somebody looking over at you and just staring you down and saying, what do you got there? Or something so simple as, you don't have anything, do you? So these are the kinds of things that we're looking for. The freeze behavior, the distancing behavior, and any sort of aggressive behavior. This is basic. This is the basics that you should know in order to decode the nonverbal behaviors of those around you.